Nurses. What's something you've seen in the ER that has scarred you for life? I was on shift when a mother burst through the hospital doors crying. She was carrying her child, who was in a coma. When I hooked him up to a drip, my heart stopped. He was so skinny, his bones were practically poking through his skin. I made the mistake of asking his mom about his weight. Her tone immediately shifted. She insisted that he had undiagnosed Silver Russell syndrome, a rare condition that could explain his weight. I wanted to believe her, but I told her we had to wait until he was eating for reliable results. She looked angry, but I figured it was just maternal panic. Until he woke up the next morning. That's when I saw something so unique. My eyes almost popped out of my head. I told him he had just woken up in the hospital. Instead of sadness or confusion, he smiled so hard I thought his emaciated face might split. That evening, I caught him spending almost an hour in the bathroom, vomiting. This would have been normal, except for the fact that his index and middle finger were covered in vomit and saliva. This wasn't my first rodeo. I reported his mother to CPS, and they found overwhelming evidence that she was unfit to parent. She was immediately arrested. I was worried about the child. But when I talked to him, he just asked me if this meant he could eat now. Turns out his mother had put him into starvation-induced comas multiple times, all in an effort to get the diagnosis. I gave him a hug and promised to keep him safe. He clapped his hands and said, "This is the best day ever." It took a year, but eventually his mother was put in a psychiatric facility. I've since adopted him. He's a completely different child now. He loves lizards and Legos. You'd never guess he was once on the brink of death.